Ladies and gentlemen, hello. This is Halil İbrahim Sarıkaya from Voice of Turkey. And this is the Voice of Turkey's English language transmission broadcasting from the Turkish capital Ankara. You can listen to us over the Turksat 3A and 4A satellites and on the internet at www.trtdinle.com through radio's link and under the Voice of Turkey radio's expandable section. Our email address is englishdesc@trt.net.tr. Following the news, the Voice of Turkey will present some programs and some music.
But first, the news. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has left for Kazakhstan's capital Astana to attend the 24th Heads of State Summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO. President Erdogan will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin as part of the summit. Russian Presidential Foreign Policy Advisor Yuri Ushakov said that Putin and Erdogan will take up all important and sensitive issues. Ushakov briefed reporters in Moscow on Putin's bilateral talks as part of SCO Heads of State Summit to be held in Astana on 3rd and 4th of July. On Putin's talks with Erdogan, Ushakov said, "A visit has been planned to Turkey for a long time. I think that the two leaders will take up this matter. Also, when Turkey's position is taken into consideration, I think there are many issues on which leaders of countries playing a significant role in the region will make an exchange of views. We maintain a continuous dialogue with Turkey. Contacts are continuously held by phone." Putin recently received Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. All important and sensitive issues will be taken up at talks. Ushakov also said that cooperation in politics, economy, security and many other fields will be taken up at the SCO Heads of State Summit. Turkey has stated that it aims to establish peace, stability and prosperity in the Middle East, where it has strong historical and cultural ties. A statement released by the Foreign Ministry said, "Allegations against our Middle East and Syria policy do not carry any analytical qualifications and lack even basic knowledge of history. Our country, which updates its foreign policy in line with its national interests, does not hesitate to take necessary measures against threats to our national security." Turkey has adopted a principled stance since the beginning in the face of the humanitarian tragedy in Syria as a result of the civil unrest. Turkey has managed to become an island of peace and stability in a geographical area that has been intentionally turned into a ring of fire for years. Our country has not only stayed out of the wars in the region, but also reinforced peace and security of our nation and increased its welfare. In this process, our country, which has also improved its defense capabilities, has not only successfully fought against terrorism within its territories, but also beyond its borders. It should not be overlooked that those who ignore all these facts and make baseless accusations solely for political gain have become the proxies of sovereign powers trying to influence our region. We will continue to take our steps in foreign policy in line with the interests of our state and nation. Greek Foreign Minister Yorgos Yerapetritis said that it is a debt to future generations to create conditions that reduce tensions with Turkey and pave the way for dialogue, diplomacy and democracy. Speaking at a panel titled "Geopolitical War: What are the Prerequisites for Sustainable Peace?" organized by a broadcasting organization in the capital Athens, Yerapetritis made assessments on foreign policy. Stressing that dialogue with Turkey is a patriotic service to Greece, Yerapetritis said, "We know that we will not agree on everything with Turkey. We are not naive. Creating conditions that will reduce tensions and paving the way for dialogue, diplomacy and democracy is our debt to future generations. We are doing this step by step without getting carried away by exaggerated claims. We have created a positive agenda." Stating that this approach in foreign policy is a national duty, Yerapetritis said, "If there is an accident in the Aegean, there will not be a VAR, Video Assistant Referee System. The accident cannot be fixed. Accidents can easily lead to disastrous results. That is not something we want." U.S. President Joe Biden attributed his poor performance in the first live debate with his rival Donald Trump before the presidential elections to be held on November 5th to traveling a lot and jet lag. Joe Biden made statements regarding the live debate on the night of June 27th in a speech at a fundraising event in Virginia. Biden said that it's not an excuse, it's just an explanation, emphasizing that he had traveled a lot before the live debate with his rival Trump and that it was not wise. Biden attributed his poor performance in the debate to his recent travels and the jet lag he experienced as a result, saying, "I didn't listen to my staff. I almost fell asleep on stage." White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre also told reporters that President Biden had a cold on the day of the debate, which is why his voice was hoarse. Jean-Pierre said, "We understand the concerns. The president did not have a good night in the debate." Democratic President Biden and his Republican rival Trump, who are competing for the presidential elections to be held on November 5th, shared their Trump cards in the first live broadcast debate on CNN on the night of June 27th in the U.S. Biden was unable to perform in his second-term candidacy to allay concerns about his age and was subjected to intense criticism after the program. There were calls for Biden to withdraw from the presidential elections from the Democratic Party and some media organizations supporting Biden. Biden, on the other hand, admitted that his health was not what it used to be, stated that he was still the best alternative to Trump, and announced that he would not withdraw from the race. China and Russia held joint military drills targeting cross-border terrorism. Chinese military newspaper PLA Daily reported that the two countries' troops conducted counter-terrorism military exercises on June 26 around the Heilongjiang Bridge on the Amur River, which separates the Chinese city of Heihe and the Russian city of Blagoveshchets. The report said that Chinese and Russian troops conducted the joint exercises based on the scenario that terrorists tried to cross the border by launching an attack and carried out aerial reconnaissance, naval intervention and ambush maneuvers on land to stop and capture terrorists. The drill focused on intelligence sharing and coordination of operations, and the two countries' armies jointly ensured the security of the border areas, demonstrating their determination to take effective measures against terrorism, separatism, and all forms of extremism, the report said. China's paramilitary People's Armed Police Force participated in the joint drill with the Russian National Guard in Russia in 2019. In addition, the navies of China, Russia, and Iran held a joint naval drill to combat terrorism and piracy near the Gulf of Oman on March 11th and 15th. The news continues on the English language broadcast of the Voice of Turkey. Pentagon spokesperson Major General Pat Ryder criticized North Korea's recent ballistic missile launches as irresponsible and reiterated the US's calls for the recalcitrant regime to return to diplomatic dialogue. Again, we continue to highlight the fact that this kind of destabilizing, disruptive behavior is irresponsible. We continue to call on North Korea to return to diplomatic discussions, Ryder told a press briefing. But in those particular launches, while there was no assessment that it posed a threat to the U.S. or our allies or partners in the region, it is something that we will continue to take seriously, he added. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said in a statement that North Korea test-fired 2 ballistic missiles Monday, and that the first missile flew 600 kilometers and the second missile 120 kilometers, but didn't say where they landed. 116 people were killed and many others injured as a result of the crowd crush at a religious gathering in the north of India. A stampede occurred during a Hindu ritual in Hathras district in Uttar Pradesh province. In a statement released by the police, 116 people, including children, died. The injured were carried out to hospitals by trucks and motorcycles. The reason behind this stampede remains unknown, while authorities have launched an investigation into the incident. Similar incidents usually occur in small and crowded rituals in India as a result of not following safety precautions. 112 people were killed as a result of an explosion in 2016 after a banned fireworks show in a temple during Hindu New Year celebrations. The number of visitors to Pamukkale travertines, which is on the UNESCO World Heritage List, reached nearly 1 million in the first half of 2024. Receiving 811,156 visitors in the first half of 2023, Pamukkale hosted 985,345 visitors in the January-June period of 2024. The number of visitors to the site has increased due to night museum visits. Visitors have the opportunity to see the travertines, the healing thermal water, and the ancient cities. The average daily number of visitors in the region in June was over 12,000, and the number is expected to exceed in July. The world is talking about Turkey's historic victory. The Turkish men's national football team reached the quarterfinals by beating Austria 2-1, and it received wide coverage by global media. There were some newspaper headlines for Turkey that will play against the Netherlands in the quarterfinals. Austria. Korean-Zeitung. Turkey put an end to Austria's Midsummer Night's Dream. Heute. Turkey broke Austria's heart. England. Times Sport says, a night will long be remembered in memory of Merit Demiral, Mert Günok, and thousands of Turkish fans who brought their flares, passion, and noise. The Sun says Demiral's double and Banks' save dump Rangnick's red-hot side-out as Turks reached Euros quarters. Spain. Marca says Güler invents, Demiral executes, Günok saves, and Turkey goes on chasing its dreams. AS says, Arda Güler wanted to change whole news bulletins in the planet. Look at the madness he tried from the middle of the field. France. Le Type says, Turkish surprise, Turkey stunned Austria. Germany. Bild says Turkey reached the quarterfinals by beating Austria. Arda and Mary were awesome. Netherlands. AD. The result of Merit Demiral's dream night. 2-1. Italy. La Gazzetta dello Sport. Merit Demiral exaggerated, doubled Austria. Turkey will play against the Netherlands, coached by Ronald Koeman, in the quarterfinals. The match between Turkey and the Netherlands will be played in Berlin Olympic Stadium on July the 6th, Saturday at 2200 GMT. And that was the news brought to you by the Voice of Turkey.